So here we have today, going to be doing a few little repairs on this HQ here. Open up the door for you, I'll show you what we're going to be doing. At some point someone's converted this is actually a commercial door. I might go through some of the differences in a later video, just some of the difference between the later model doors, commercial doors and HQ doors. But anyway, for this video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be fixing up this ashtray hole and just tidying up this this little access hole for the HQ window. I don't even know what you'd call it, a guide, I suppose. So yeah, not really too much going on there. I've got a donor door for it, so thankfully I don't have to make anything, which is helpful. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. Alright, so I've got the door off, I got my replacement panel sitting over the top, and as you can see, oh not quite now, but there's one hole here, and take this one off, and it's got this provision right here. So yeah, that's sort of, I think that's for the later model stuff, and I'm pretty sure that is for your adjustable mirror, which if this is a late model door shell, this is what that would have. But yeah, because I know this is a commercial door because it's got the two lines at the back here, which is mainly a HQ thing or a non-intrusion bar door sort of giveaway sort of thing. But yeah, I've noticed there's a few little differences, like I think these holes can be different here, and yeah, this one right here. I think that might be actually for electric window. I'm not quite sure. I think that's what that's for. I'm almost certain that's for the adjustable mirror. I might have to look at my HZ for that one, but yeah, anyway, this is, I've got this one cut out. That's obviously cut out too big. And I did it this way just so I can sit him over the top. I can trim this one down as much as I want, and yeah, then go ahead and replace it. Alright, so we've got this one all welded in. It's looking not too bad, just ready for a grind down. Also did this one as well. I folded back their ugly mess, what they'd done, and with the other door, I sort of made up a little bit of a template, and I just sat it along this top edge, which is where the factory one sort of cut from, and yeah, ended up being able to save a little bit more of this and trimmed up some of it. And well, actually I drilled my holes first, and then I sort of cut it with an angle grinder, and this, where the bit was missing, I ended up just running some weld over the top of that, which that'll be fine. I can linish that back, and that'll look more or less like it's supposed to be there, so that's good. Yeah, I'll just run the grinder over these, and that should do me for today, I reckon. Repair is all done on the door. Come up looking not too bad. Yeah, the weld's not fully linished all the way out, but what are you going to do about it? It'll do the job. That one's not come up not too bad. Shame about the little bit of a crease through here, but again, what are you going to do about it? Certainly looks a lot better than what was there before, and yeah, if I want to get really fussy with it when I do the bodywork on the rest of the inside of the door, I can wipe a little bit of filler over that, and that'll be just fine. Won't be a drama. It'll all get painted inside here anyway, behind the door trim. So yeah, anyway, I'll better get this door on and clean up that mess, and lock up for the night, I reckon. Alright, door's all back on. It's adjusted. Bench is cleaned up, kinda. It's a bit hard with one hand. It's looking a bit better now. So yeah, now that one's ready for a final epoxy, and yeah, this one's a little bit. Sometimes they don't return when they get a bit worn out. Yeah, looking forward to getting this one all body worked and painted. But yeah, it's a little bit while off. I've got to spend a little bit more time on the gaps. There's a guard gap on that side that sort of needs a bit more playing around with. Don't know if you saw on the driver's side floor there was a transcooler. I've got to finish making up some brackets and nut cert in through here where the transcooler will go. Obviously finish getting this side ready for epoxy, and do the shell as well. All in the door jambs have been done. Yeah, it's just, I really need to get the outside of the car done, around the windows, inside the boot jamb, across the back where the bumper goes. And then it's pretty well ready for bodywork, so yeah. We ended up just throwing the seats in just so we could get the shifter set up, or at least get it mounted anyway. Still got a few holes to weld up in the floor where they had their aftermarket shifter, but yeah, it's, that interior will be alright for getting on the road anyway. Got a GDS steering wheel for it, obviously paint up the column, that sort of stuff, but yeah, those seats are just, yeah, not retrimmed or anything. That's why they don't match, but that's fine. That'd be fine to get it on the road. Yeah, it's coming along though. Haven't really worked on it in a few, probably a good 12 months, I reckon, but maybe a little bit longer even, which is a bit of a shame because this one was speeding along, but yeah, you get that. Get out of here. Oh well, we'll call it a day, I reckon, and finish packing up. Alright, so it's the next day. Sort of, me and the old man took the fuel tank out of this one. So yep, no fuel tank no more. Gonna start doing a few little rust repairs inside this boat. Probably give up some of this, just a little bit of a clean up, just to see what I'm working with. Alright, so I upped my daily iron intake, and I wheeled this back just a little bit just to sort of see what I was working with. It's a little bit hard when there's all, bits of, when it looks like that, more or less. So give it a quick buzz back with the wire wheel and the drill and sort of see what I'm working with now. A lot of people would probably put a floor pan in this, but for this one I'm probably not going to stress too much about it because sort of I'd rather spend my money elsewhere, but that's fine. We can make this stuff. That's no dramas. It's not too bad anyway. It's mainly just this part that's the worst. There's a few little holes over here. I think there's another one just there. A few just in these corners where the fuel tank brackets go. There's another little pinhole just there. Yeah, it's not too bad though. You can just see them from underneath there. Probably looks worse than what it actually is, but that's fine. We'll fix him up. Not a drama. Alright, so got the patch sort of fitting in. It's not perfect just yet. Still got to do a little bit more moving around of corners and stuff like that, but fits the general shape. I think now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start setting in some of these lines. So for that, I'm going to be using this fella here. It's just a chisel that I sort of blunting down a little bit. Got my hammers. This one be just for putting the corners in, stuff like that. Usually I just use this. I just call it T-dolly. I'll put that in the vise and I'll use that for smoothing out some of these areas through here. Got my homemade slapping dolly. Nothing really too crazy going on, but yeah, hopefully fingers crossed it'll do the job for something like this without a whole lot of tooling on hand. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Alright, so I started to get that line set in. Still a little bit rough. I ended up doing a little bit of shrinking with the shrinker stretcher just off camera there. Still needs to come down a little bit more, but it's getting there. It's a little bit closer. I ended up going for the tech screws. I found because this panel's starting to get a whole lot of shape into it, it's starting to fight the clecos a little bit. So upgraded or downgraded, whatever way you want to look at it, to the tech screws. So yeah, but yeah, a bit more tapping around, and then I can probably start looking at probably cleaning up some of these hammer marks inside here, and then digging into that one. So yeah, it's a little bit hard doing this sort of stuff without any without like a bead roller or something like that, something to sort of tip those edges in and Yeah, I probably could have, if I had my English wheel here, it's in storage at the moment, I probably could have stretched up this area with that, ran it through upside down and raised the underside up. So yeah, pre-stretch the bit of a valley here and then sort of hammer it around into shape. But because, like I said, I don't have it here at the moment. Sort of just finished setting this one out. It's not perfect, but I think it'll do the job. Obviously, still got to make up this part, so even if there's a little bit of discrepancy, I should be able to sort of lose it when I make up this last part. You can sort of see just how far this one's sort of, just by stretching that out, how far this one's actually moved over, because this line right here was back here, so yeah, it's pretty well gathered up, that piece of metal, probably a good 2 or 3 mil, probably if not more. Yeah, like I said, I think it'll do the job. I probably could have cut up one of the cars that are out in the paddock, because I mean, I've got a few Statesmans and stuff, and this part of the boot floor is usually pretty good in them, I've noticed. Yeah, I think I'll just keep plodding along with this one, and I'll see how I go with it, I reckon. Gonna tackle that one now. Alright, I think that can probably do us for tonight. Got that line set in, so that one's pretty well ready for a bit more fit and fiddle, and you know, that sort of thing. It's getting there. I'm gonna have to wait until I get a little bit more steel so I can make up this part, because running low on that sort of stuff at the moment. But yeah, I probably won't worry about getting that one welded in. I'll do that when it's on the rotisserie, because I'll want to weld that from underneath. I'm still undecided if I'll put a cell in this car or not, or I will refurbish the original tank. I'm thinking I might lean more towards the cell side, but if I do the cell, obviously I'm going to be cutting this part of the floor out, and I'll build a frame in there, and so I can half sink the cell, half out, half in. Because I find when you have the cell just sitting in the boot, you lose a lot of boot space, unless you run a really small tank. So yeah, if you sort of sit them in there so they sit half through the floor, I think that's probably the better way to go about it. But yeah, anyway, that's further down the track anyway. I think I'll probably keep on going making these patch panels when I got some more steel, and yeah, then I'll probably just sort of tech screw them in there into place like that. Like for this one back down here, I can join it to that one, and I can get it ready that I'm gonna weld it in, but I won't do the final cutting or anything like that until I'm actually ready to do it. So yeah, anyway, we'll knock off for the night, and yeah, probably call it a day, I reckon. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Something a little bit different. Got a little bit of work done on the HQ, and obviously done a little bit more on the HZ. So yeah, pretty happy with the little bits of progress that we've made. So yeah, see you around next time, guys. Cheers.